Good day, my scholars. You are welcome back to my school channel, and my name is Samuela. Remember, in this channel, you will join me to solve the JAMB CBT past question for the subject mathematics the year 2013. Do not go anywhere. Stay with us, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to my school YouTube channel, and in this video segment we are solving questions 1 to 17. So join me as we start with question number 1. Convert 27 base 10 to another number in base 3. So we are moving from base 10 to base 3. So all we just have to do, we have to use this very easy method. 27 in base 10 to base 3. Since we are moving to base 3, this is what we are going to have. You know, this looks like the things we do with HCF and what have you. So 3 in 27, that is 9, remaining 0, right? 3 in 9, that is 3, remaining 0. 3 in 3, that is 1, remaining 0. 3 in 1, right? That is 0, remaining 1. So this is how we do the collection. We move from the least to the topmost, okay? So that is, we can now say 27 in base 10 equals 1000 equals 1000 in base 3. So we just have to go back to the screen and see if we can find 1000 in base 3. So join me as we move back to the screen. So look through the options provided, and where do we find the value we just provided? We find that in option D, so option D is the correct option. Question 2. 3 girls share a number of apples in the fraction of 5:3:2. Okay, if the highest share gets 40 apples, find the smallest share. So all we just need to do is to sum up all of the fractions that we have. We have 5, correct? So the largest share, we are told, the largest share over the total fraction, okay, times the number of apples that we don't know. We are told that this person got 40 apples, right? So that means we are looking for x, all right? That means we are looking for the total number of apples, that if the apples were so much that the first person got 40 out of the total number of apples. So this is what we are going to do. 5 times x, okay, if we see this is 5x over 10 times 1, that is 10, equals 40, right? So we can do this. So we have 5x equals 40 times 10. So we are looking for x. What do? Divide both sides by 5. Right? So 5 here 1, 5 here 2. 2 times 40, that is 80. So the total number of apples are 80. Okay, so that is x. So we are now told that the least person gets certain amount of apples. How many apples did she get? Okay, so that will be 2 over 10, right? Times the total number of apples now, 80 over 1. Okay, so we have 0 strikes out 0. 2 times 8, 16 apples. So out of 80 apples, the least share got 16. The highest got 40. So let's now find out, although this is not part of the question, but let's just find out what the second person got. So that will be, we can use different approach. We can decide to add this up. 40 plus 16, that is 56. Take it away from 80, all right? That will give you what you are looking for. That's 24. But let's still use this approach as well. So that will be 3 over total number of fraction, right, times 80. So we have 0 strikes out 0. 3 times 8, 24 apples. So if we sum up all of this together, 40 plus 64, that is 40 plus 24 rather, that is 64 plus 16, that gives us 80 apples. So we know that these 3 girls, they shared 80 apples. So the person that got the highest share had 40 apples, followed by the next person had 24 apples. Then the least share got 16 apples. So the question requires that what is the share for the least ration, so and that is 16. So let's see if we can find 16 in the options provided. So we can see that this question is very easy to tap. All you need to do is to practice, practice, and practice. So where do we find 16? Option C. Question 3. Evaluate 1.25 times 0.025 over 0.05, bringing your answer to one decimal place. Please, you just have to believe that it is very easy and possible to tackle this question without using a calculator. So let's see this. We have 1.25, okay, times 0.025 divides, isn't it, 0.05. Okay, so if I want to bring this decimal back to fraction, I can just put 1 on the decimal point, then 0, 0 on the numbers we have as well here, 0, 0, 0, isn't it? 1, 0, 0. Okay, so this implies 125 over 100. I can decide to still break this down. Okay, times, I have 25 over 1000, isn't it? Then I still have this divided by 5 over 100. So if I want to change this divide to times, you know, numerator and denominator will switch position. So I will have 100 over 5 instead. Right, so 100 cancels 100, isn't it? 5 here 1, 5 here 25. Okay, so at the numerator we have 25 times 25 times 1. Okay, that is still 625. We have 1 times 1000, that's 1000 times 1. So we can see this. So 625 over 1000, that is 0.625. You can try it out with this method. Okay, if you want to bring it back to fraction, that is 1 on the decimal point, 0, 0, 0. So that tells you 625 over 1000. Okay, this is just to cross check. So that means we have this 0.625. So the instruction reads that we bring our answer to one decimal place. So that would just be 0. Because if you try to abbreviate this is 5 here, use this to become 3, 3 turns to 0, so I have 0.6. So we just have to go back to our screen and see if we can find the value 0.6. So let's go through the options provided, and where do we find that? We find that in option A, so option A is the correct option. Number 4. Calculate the time taken for 3,000 naira to earn 600 naira if invested at 8% simple interest. So we can see that basically we are dealing with simple interest, right? So we are told that the principal is 3,000, right? And we are told that at how much time will this 3,000 yield interest of 600 naira? So 600, isn't it? We have the rates at 8%, so we are asked to find the time t. Okay, so we can use this formula, I equals PRT over 100. So we are making t the subject, we can cross multiply, then I have 100I equals PRT. So divide both sides by PR. So we can say that T equals 100I over PR. Okay, so let's plot in this value. So that will be 100 times I is 600, the simple interest, over the P, the principal, which is 3,000, right, times the rate, 8. Okay, so we can do this, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, right? So we have 3 here 1, 3 here 20. Okay, so 4 can pull out, 4 here 5, 4 here 2. So 5 divided by 2, that is 2.5. So we are talking about 2.5 years. So it takes 2.5 years for 3,000 naira to get you the interest of 600 naira. So let's see if we can find 2.5 in the options provided. So join me as we move back to the screen. Okay, very well. So this is a tricky one. All right. So this is 2.5 or 2.5 because half 1 over 2 is 0.5. So this is 2.5 years or 2.5 years. So this is what we have. So the correct option here is option A, 2.5 years. Question 5. Simplify 3 raised to power minus 5n over 9 raised to power 1 minus n times 27 raised to power n plus 1. Okay, so this is just what we work around. Alright, so join me as we play with this question and derive the answer. So this implies that 3 raised to power 5n, right, divides 9 raised to power 1 minus n times 27 raised to power n plus 1, isn't it? So this means 3 raised to power minus 5n divides, if we want to bring everything to base 3, alright, so this is 3, 9 is 3 raised to power 2, so that is 3 into bracket 2, 3 raised to power 2 into bracket 1 minus 1, right, times 3, 27 is 3 raised to power 3, okay, into bracket n plus 1, right, so everything is in base 3, we can just pick one. So we picked one big one, so we have minus 5n, right? So divide means minus 2 times n, that is 2, right? 2 times minus n, that is minus 2n, times means plus, isn't it? So 3 times n, we have 3n, 3 times plus 1, we have plus 3. So we can collect like terms. So we'd have, right, minus 5n minus 2 plus 2n, minus times minus plus 2n, right, plus 3n plus 3. Okay, so let's work around this carefully. Minus 5n plus 2n, that is minus 3n. This implies that, or we can do this, 3n plus 2n, that is 5n. So 5n minus 5n, that is 0, so n is gone. So we are left with minus 2 plus 3, that is plus 1. You are owing 2 naira and you have 3 naira on you. So once you pay 2 naira, you have 1 naira left. The 1 naira left is your money, so that is how it's having a positive sign. So we have 3 raised to power 1, and that is 3. So join me as we move back to the screen to select the correct option. Remember, I told us from the beginning of the clip that this question is very easy to tackle. What you need to do is to practice, all right? So where do we find 3? That is in option D, so option D is your correct option. Do not forget that you can get any of the Myschool tools to help you better prepare for your coming JAMB exam. So all you need to do, click on that link, is going to take you to the Myschool website where you can get the Myschool mobile app for your Android devices or the Myschool software for your laptops. So nothing stops you from becoming the best. So join me as we solve question 6. We have, if log base 10 raised to power 4 equals 0.6021, evaluate log base 10 4 raised to power 1 over 3. Okay, so this is it. We are told that if log 4, we are working in base 10, so I can say log 4 equals 0.6021. Therefore, what will be log 4 raised to power 1 over 3? Rather, this is not well written, it's not in base 4. Okay, this is base 10. All right, what this means is 1 over 3, right, times log base 4. And we have been told that log base 4 is 0.6021. Alright, so that will be 0.6021. Alright, so we can decide to use the method we are accustomed to. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have 1 over 3 times 6021 over, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 3 here 1, 3 in 60, that is 20, isn't it? 3 in 21, that is 07. Okay, yeah, 60, 07. So we would have 2007 over 10,000, isn't it? So when we are converting this, we should have 0.2007, isn't it? How do I know that? Once you just position again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy, right? So our answer is 0.2007. Somehow I can take a guess that this year with the year we have here is quite significant to some of us. So I believe it's a good memory. So let's go back to the screen and see if we can find the correct option. 0.2007, where do we find that? We find that in option D. So option D is the correct option. From your comments and likes, we believe that this content has been very helpful. All you need to do for us and for yourself is to hit that like button. Also, click on the subscribe button, and always tap on bell notification so you can get alerts as soon as we upload the next video segment just for you. Question 7. Simplify root 5 into brackets root 147 minus root 12 over root 15. So this is SOD that we are dealing with. So let's just do this. At first, you can just make this happen. Root 5 divides root 15. That will give us root 3. How do I know that? That is root 5, right? Divided by root 15 is 5 times 3, isn't it? So that will be root 5, right, over root 5 times root 3. We see that now, so we are left with root 3. Yeah, okay. So this is just a side attraction for us to have clarity and follow with the steps we are working with. So we have this left. So in order to carry out this simple operation, you can just split the denominator since it's the same for the both. So we have 147, right, over root 3, isn't it? Then we have minus root 12 over root 3. So root 147 divided by root 3, that is still very easy. 3 in 14, all right, that is 2. As in 3 in 14 rather, that is 3 times 4, that is 12. So then we have 4, right, remainder 2. 3 in 27, that is 9. So root 3 divides root 147 is 49. So I would have root 49, right? Root 3 divides root 12. That should give us root 4. Okay, this is root 12. Root 12 is 2 times 6. Root 2 times root 6, right? Or root 4 times root 3. Whichever one that works for us. Over root 3. You can see that. So we are left with root 4. So square root of 49 is 7. Square root of 4 is 2. So 7 minus 2, we have 5. So 5 is the answer we are looking for. So let's scan through all of the options provided and see if we can find 5 in any one of them. So which of the options carry 5? Option A. So option A is the correct option. Number 8. So if P, all of this tells you that for P, the value of P minus 1 is less than X, but X is less than or equals to 20. So whatever will be the value of P, okay, minus 1, all right, will not be there. So which number next is greater than minus 1? So we are talking about 1, all right, so put it properly. So that means we are starting from 1 to 20. We are told that X is less than or equals to 20. So we're starting from 1. 1 is bigger than minus 1 because minus 1 is smaller than X. So anything we are picking should be bigger than minus 1. So we have 1 to 20. So we can see that P is talking about not just numbers 1 to 20, but all numbers that you can find from 1 to 20. Okay, so then what about Q? We are told that Q prime numbers, right? And minus 2 is less than Y. So anywhere we are starting from, the number should be bigger than minus 2. So take note of this. Minus 1 is bigger than minus 2. Minus 2 is bigger than minus 3. Minus 3 is bigger than minus 4. So know this simple trick and you are good to go. So that means we are starting from minus 1. And we are told that Y is less than or equals to 25. So that means we are looking for prime numbers from minus 1 to 25. So we are now asked to find P intersection Q. So remember that P, they are odd numbers from 1, right, to 20. And Q, they are odd prime numbers from minus 1 to 25. So let's just pin this down properly. All right, so from 1, right, we're talking to 20, from the question to 20. So that means I have 1, right, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, right? We have 15, we have 17, we have 19. 20 is not an odd number, it's an even number. Okay, then for Q, we are told that Q, we are talking about prime numbers from minus 1 to 25. So remember that 1 is not a prime number. Okay, so that means we are starting from 2, and you recall what prime numbers are. Okay, so we are starting from 2, we have 3, we have 5, we have 7, we have 11, we have 13, we have 17, and we have 19. Then we are moving to 25, right? Then we have 21 is not a prime number, it's an odd number but not a prime number. Then we have 23, 24 is not a prime number, 25 is not a prime number. So I'm supposed to put and here, but let's just work around this. So we're asked to now find P intersection Q. So we are talking about members that you can find in P and that you can also find in Q. So what are they? We have 3, right? We have 7, we have 5, yes, of course we have 7, we have 11, right? We have 13, we have 17, then we have 19. So all we need to do is to ascertain that we have these members correctly written out in the options provided. So we are talking about 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, and 19. So let's go back to the option and see where we can find this. Okay, so let's examine the options carefully. We have 3, 5, 7, 11, but 13 is lacking here, so this is invalid. Okay, so we have 3, 5, 11, 13, 7 is lacking, so this is invalid. Let's look at option C. We have 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19. This is correct. We have 2. Okay, 2 is not even among what we have for odd numbers, so this is gone. So technically, the correct answer is option C, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, and 19. So option C is your correct option. Question 9. If S equals big square root of t squared minus 4t plus 4 big square roots. Okay, so we're asked to find t in terms of S. So I just have to replicate the question first on the board. Then we have this. So to eliminate the square roots, what do? We square both sides. Alright, so this is what we do, right? Square cancels square roots, right? So we have S squared equals t squared minus 4t plus 4, isn't it? So if you bring S in, so we'll have t squared minus 4t plus 4 minus S squared. So let's use the formula method, or the almighty formula. Okay, so this will be tagged as our A. A is 1, the coefficient here. The coefficient of B is minus 4, isn't it? Then C is 4 minus S squared. So using the formula method, we are going to have this. You can take your time, okay? Go over this clip again and again. So the formula method is minus B plus or minus square root, right, of B squared minus 4AC over 2A. Isn't it? So that should give us minus B, that will be minus into brackets. What's our B? Our B is minus 4, okay? Two brackets plus or minus of B squared, that is minus 4 raised to power 2, minus 4 times A is 1, isn't it? Of course. Then our C is 4 minus X squared. Right, so we have minus times minus, we have plus. So I have then over 2A. A is 1. So 2 times 1, we have 2. So we would have minus times minus, we have 4 plus or minus. Okay, minus 4 squared is minus 4 times minus 4. That is plus 16. Okay, minus 4 times 1, that is minus 4. So minus 4 times 4, I have minus 16. Minus 4 times x squared, minus times minus, I have plus. 4 times s squared, we have 4s squared all over 2. Right? So I have 4 plus or minus square root of 16 minus 16, that is 0. So I have this, 4x squared. Wow. Okay, so over 2, isn't it? So I would have 4 plus or minus, right? The square root of 4x squared is 2s. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of x squared is s. So I have 4 plus or minus 2s, isn't it? Over 2. I can still make this smaller by saying, Okay, you can still make this one by saying 2 into brackets, right? 2 plus or minus s over 2, isn't it? So I have this, right? So that means I have 2 plus s or 2 minus s. Or I can say s plus 2 or minus s plus 2. So whichever one. So this is what we asked to find. So we have to find t in terms of s. So we have s plus 2 or minus s plus 2, or we have 2 plus x or 2 minus x, whichever way when you switch position. So let's see if we can find any of these values in the options provided. So look through the options we have s plus 2. Okay, so the correct option here is option B. Question 10. If x minus 4 is a factor of x squared minus x minus k, okay, then k is what? All right, so this is just super easy for us to solve. All we need to do is to, since x minus 4 equals 0, that means x, when you send 4 outside, it becomes positive, equals 4. So anywhere we find x, we replace it with 4. So let's do that here. So we have 4 raised to power 2, isn't it? Minus 4 minus k equals 0. 4 raised to power 2, that is 4 times 4, that is 16, minus 4 minus k equals 0. So I can send k outside. So I have 16 minus 4, that is 12. When k goes outside, it becomes positive. So k is 12. So let's see if we can find the value 12 in the options provided. Alright, so scan through the options, you will find 12 in option B. So option B is your option. 11. The remainder when 6p cubed minus p squared minus 47p plus 30 is divided by p minus 3 is what? Okay, so all you just need to do is to do this first. So p minus 3, okay, means p minus 3 equals 0, and that means p equals 3. So anywhere we find p, we put 3. So that implies here 6 into bracket 3 raised to power 3 minus 3 raised to power 2, right? Minus 47 into bracket 3 plus 30. So 3 raised to power 3, that is 27, right? So 27 times 6. 6 times 7, we have 42, right? 4 carry 1. 6 times 2, that's 12, plus 4, 16. Okay, so we have 162 minus 3 raised to power 2, that's 3 times 3, that gives you 9. Right? Minus 47 times 3. 3 times 7, that is 21. You write 1, you carry 2. 3 times 4, 12, plus 2, that is 14. Right? So we have 141, then we have plus 30. Okay, so we see this. Minus 9 minus 141, that is minus 150. Okay, so 162 minus 150, that is 12. Plus 30, that is 42. All right, so you can go over this addition and subtraction by yourself. Okay, so your answer is 42. Let's see if we can find 42 in the options provided. Of course, option B. So option B is the correct option. Question 12. If P varies jointly as M and U, I added if, okay, and V and varies inversely as Q. Okay, so we'll be finding the constant K. Alright, so let's just bring this together. P varies jointly as M and U, and varies inversely as Q. So what you should have in this kind of variation would be, I told P varies, right, then inversely for Q. Alright, so let's lot this in. So we are finding K. So finding K, or let me write this properly. P equals K MU over Q. Alright, so if we are finding K, so we have PQ equals KMU, dividing both sides by MU. So we can confidently tell that K equals, right, PQ over MU. So from the second sentence, what do we have? We now have P is 4, right? And we are now told that Q is 1 over M is 3 and U is 2. isn't it? So we have 2 here 1, 2 here 2. So we see that k is 2/3. So the last sentence reads that find the value of p, okay, when m is 6. So remember this. When k is 2/3. Okay, let me bring this down. This is what we are working with. So I have p equals kmu, right, over q, right? So where k is 2/3, right, times m. We are giving m as 6 and u as 4. M as 6 and u as 4 divided by q. Q is given as 8/5. So this divide should surely come to multiplication. What do? We switch position. So that will be 5/8. Okay, so 3 here 1, 3 here 2. 2 times 4, 8. 8 strikes out 8. So what do I have left? 2 times 5, I have 10. So I can tell that P equals 10 from this relation. So let's see if we can find the value 10 in the options provided. So where do we find that? We find that in option C. So option C is the correct option. Question 13. If r varies inversely as the square root of s and t, how does s vary with r and t? So let's first tap out the relation. R varies inversely as the square root of s and t. So what you'll be having is, we are told r varies inversely. Okay, that's definitely k over the square root of s and t. Okay, so we are now told that we should find how does s vary with r and t. So that means we are making s the subject of the formula. So what do? We can cross multiply, right? So I have square root of st times r equals k. So that means square root of st equals k over r, dividing both sides by r. Okay, so I would have, to remove the square root, I will square both sides, isn't it? Square strikes out square root. So I will have st equals k square, right, over r square. We are asked to make s the subject, so that means we are dividing both sides by t, or by 1/t. Okay, so that will be s equals k square over r square t. So that is how s varies with r and t. So k square over r square t. So we have r square and t. So let's see if we can find that in any of the options that we've been provided with. So we have r square and t, and the variation is inversely. Okay, so s varies inversely as r square and t. So that is option B. So option B is the correct option. Do not forget to click on that link, all right? It's going to take you to the Myschool website. There you will meet with our solution providers, and right there you can ask your questions, and in moments your answers will be provided. So we have question 14. Evaluate 3 into bracket x plus 2 greater than 6 into bracket x plus 3. So the first thing I did is to do this. So I replicated the question on our whiteboard. So we can see 3 here, we can see 6 here. So 3 here 1, 3 here 2. Okay. So when we open up 1 times x, we have x. 1 times 2, we have 2. Greater than 2 times x, we have 2x. 2 times this, we have 6. So I can decide to collect like terms, isn't it? So whichever way I want to make it happen, I can move this here, I can move this there. So I can have x minus 2x, then I have this, 6 minus 2, positive becomes negative, okay? So this is minus x is greater than 4. We have to eliminate this. So dividing both sides by minus 1, which is the coefficient of x, x is less than minus 4. So this is what we are looking for. X is less than minus 4. So where do we find that? So let's scan through the options provided, and we'll find option C. So option C is the correct option. it is very possible that you have better explanations to any of the questions we've tackled so far. Please, we are so interested. All you need to do is to use the comment section below, indicate that question number and the explanation attached to it. Question 15. Solve for x, all right, we have x minus 2, then it's less than 3. So I can just say that this implies that, okay, so we have x minus 2, that is plus or minus of x minus 2 is less than, if I'm correct, yeah, 3. So this means plus, right, x minus 2 less than 3, or I can say minus x minus 2 less than 3, okay? This is just one method I'm proposing. So when you expand, we have x minus 2, 3. Collect like times, we have x. This goes outside, becomes positive. So 3 plus 2, we have 5. X is less than 5, or we can say minus x plus 2 less than 3. So when this goes outside, so that will be minus x, isn't it? 3 minus 2, or I can make it happen, whichever way. So this 2 goes outside, becomes minus 3 minus 2, that is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1, right? So that will be x is greater than minus 1. So whatever thing we are bringing together to form an inequality, that is telling us that this minus 1 is less than x, isn't it? Minus 1 is less than x, and x is less than 5. So this is what I can imply. So minus 1 is less than x, or x is bigger than minus 1, then x is smaller than 5. So let's see if we can have this minus 1 and 5. Minus 1 and 5, where do we have that? We have that in option C. So option C is the option we are looking for. Number 16. The n term of the progression 4 over 2, 7 over 3, 10 over 4, 13 over 5. So we're asked to find which of these actually is the n term for the progression. So you can just pick any one of these randomly. So I've already solved this, so I discovered that the correct option is B. So let's try this out. So let's look for the first, okay, the first 10. Yeah, so that means n is 1, first term, n is 1. So that will be 3 times 1, that is 3, plus 1, that is 4. Okay, so we have 4 on top. N is 1, remember? 1 plus 1, that is 2. So that is 4 over 2. So let's say when we are looking for the next term, that is the second term, that is n equals to 2. 3 times 2, that is 6, plus 1, that is 7 on top. 2 plus 1, that is 3, 7 over 3. Okay? The third term, 3 times 3, that is 9, plus 1, that is 10. 3 plus 1, that is 4. 10 over 4. So this is the n term we are looking for. If you try doing that with other options, you realize that they are not correct. Let's take this for instance. The first term, n. Okay, so 3 times 1, that is 3. 1 minus 3, that is minus 2. It doesn't tally. So the correct option here is option B. Question 17. If a binary operation, we have x to y, then we have x plus 2y, then we're asked to find this. So the first thing I did is just to replicate the question on the whiteboard. So we are told that when we have this, we are going to have x plus 2y. So the first thing we have to do, we have to deal with what we have in the bracket. So this represents our x, right? And this represents our y. So for this, it will be, remember, 3, which is x, right? Plus 2 into bracket, our y is 4, right? So that will be 2 times 4, that is 8, plus 3, that is 11. So we have here, whatever is in the bracket becomes 11. So we have 2, then we have 11. So this is x, and this is y. So we do the same thing, x, right, which is 2, plus y, 2 into brackets y. Right, so we have 2 plus 2 times 11, that is 22. 2 plus 22, that is 24. Very simple, right? So let's see if we can find 24 in the options provided. So where do we find 24? Option A. So option A is your correct option. Right here, we've come to the end of this video segment, but there are definitely more interesting video segments to come. All you need to do is to hit that like button. Also, click on the subscribe button and always tap bell notification so you can get alerts immediately we upload the next video clip just for you.